a clickable thing, and I'm not sure where it's at. I'm not sure.
Well, I got a couple options. I mean, one is chat, and I open that up, and it doesn't give me any extra commands.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a little command box there, but it only gives you like mute and different people and stuff. And then there's another one that says question and answer, but when I go into it, it already says it's on.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have the audience. They can hear us. They can leave comments. We'll just have to refresh it here.
See, the pisser part is I can't see the comments.
It's below the YouTube window. The YouTube one that you have open.
Oh, down there. Okay.
Yeah, it won't be on the right-hand side.
What's you doing, Bumpkin? All right, now I see. I thought I was going crazy.
Hmm. Yeah.
See, because on the other thing, it was coming up on the right-hand side. When I was doing it the other day, it was coming up on the right. And then when I did this one, I was like, wow, that's messed up. I was like, I can't even see him. Hey, guess what? We got a hangout.
All right, we're going. We're going live. Hello, everybody. It's coffee, Tuesday morning coffee with Governor Willie Brown. He used to do those in the Bay Area. Tuesday morning coffee at coffee houses. Talking about the state of the city of Oakland.
Radio station?
Mm-mm. It was a television morning program. Let's see. Well, I had to ask Chad to come on, but he's doing a bunch of packing, all his sales. I haven't even started doing mine yet. So,
yeah, my sales are slow this week. I was doing about 40 packages a week. Now it's down to crap.
Yeah. Mine has went down as well, but that was a little setback I had on my listing.
Yeah.
Getting them back up there. And they had like 2 pairs of jeans, a couple of shirts, and a CD to ship out. Oh, and a jewelry box. Yeah.
I just had an Amazon sale, and that was it. I do all mine. Right now, I'm just doing merchant fulfill because I still want to learn a little more about that FBA before I go diving into something else.
I am doing a lot of research on that, find out ins and outs. So I know there's a lot of things that can go wrong, a lot of things that can bottleneck on your items and getting them listed. So I just want to look at everything first before I really jump into that.
Right. I'm a little hesitant right now. I mean, I got plenty of storage. I got 2 buildings that are roughly 30 by 40. So, you up or down? We'll see, Sissy.
Yeah.
The pile that up, pay attention. And,
now we got this going. Let's go ahead and send this to everybody so they know, hey, come on in and watch. Copy this. You have it in Gil. I'll put it in the other ones.
no, I'm going to start setting this up probably. I might do it daily in the early mornings. Kind of want to run it like from 5 in the morning till 9. You know, that way we'll catch some guys that get up early, you know, and they'll still be in the window there for an hour or so, or, you know, check in, shoot the crap or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about money. So, I mean, I've been 2:45 this morning. But
And myself, I'm just waking up myself. Late night.
yeah, the guys get on there and they stay pretty late. I can't stay up that late. I've got little kids here getting my ass right out of bed, boy, and away we go. Well, so my trick is I got to get up before them so I can get a couple things done, because if I don't, there's always one. They're a riot, though.
Let's see. Is Chris back?
Right. Been kind of in a reorganization mode anyway, so I've been listening a little bit, but I got everything is everywhere, so it's like one of those deals where I just need to take some time to do a major reorganization and set things up in such a way where, it's a lot easier to deal with. And I did 2 or 3 big picking videos. Yeah, I pick up a lot of stuff for free. Occasionally I buy something, and then once in a while I hit the thrift stores. But I've been hitting a lot of stuff for free, and it is what it is. Sometimes you can get some good stuff. Sometimes you just get crap and recycle it back in. But I got oodles of boxes.
And that is the way to do it. I mean, the free price, you can't beat that. Free value. No. Yeah. Most I have this one nice little source, a thrift store that has great prices. They don't price it by name brand; they price it by item. Short sleeve shirts are $2. Long sleeve shirts are $3. Coats and blazers are $4 to $5.
Nice.
I think what's the other thing? All shoes are $3, no matter what. Any comments? No comments yet.
No, we got a couple things going on here. You just get hit with some messages.
Yeah, chat link. I'm not sure how to fix that. Roxy was asking me, "Do we have a chat link?" I said, "No."
I got a couple nice. We got some pretty decent little thrift stores up here and they're one of those deals where they're pretty really good people, and they because making well. We got 2 groups. We got I live right on the border of New Hampshire, so we got the hell they call it, listen centers. They call it in New Hampshire, and it's run by the New Hampshire organization of for to help low-income people and all that, and they sell everything from furniture. They're basic. They're all over the place. And then you got your individual thrift stores that are privately owned. And then in Vermont, they got a bunch of them they call SEVCA, and that's the same thing. It's kind of run by the state, more or less. They have an organization that's guided by the state program, and they get funding and stuff to help out these low-income people by sending. They've got drop boxes all around the state and send it to different stores, and each little store has their own little drop box areas, and so, but they're good people. I mean, you go in there and they love you. It's like us pickers like me. They're like, because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to spend some money. That's what they want. If I go in there and drop $50, they're tickled pink. Because most people go in there and they're just buying, and that, buying and selling thing and moving it, because a lot of that stuff they end up having to pay for it, throw away. If it sits in there too long, they just got to pay for it. And that dumpsters are expensive, you know, especially the dumpsters that they've got sitting outside their buildings are like $180 a month dumpsters, you know. So I mean, that costs money, and some of them are different, and they go by weights and stuff. You know, the heavier the dumpster, the more they pay. So they like to sell it, you know. And that's why I hear these guys all complaining about the thrift stores down in their areas, and you know, I'm like, wow, you know, there must be quite a rush on, especially in the bigger cities where there's more people involved in the reselling value part of it. Everybody's trying to do a little reselling to make a few extra bucks. Up here in the North Country, not so much. And I mean, the population is small. I mean, just Vermont alone only has 600,000 people, the whole state, you know. So, and it's not very big, but you know, it's one of those deals where you got 2,000-3,000 people in this town, and 5 miles down the road, you got 2,000-3,000 people in that town, so on and so forth, you know. And they're all scattered out through the country.
Yeah.
The thrift stores don't get hit quite as much, you know. I mean, there's buyers that go in there and pick through the stuff too, but you know, it's not. I mean, it's not like I can go down to this thrift store and pop through there and go back there tomorrow, and the same stuff will be there, you know. If I didn't have the money or something, I could go back 2 days later and probably just because that it doesn't get hit like that. I mean, you might have any one given time when it's busy, you might have 10-15 people in the thrift store. You know, the rest of the time you're lucky if you have 4.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember there was in Haight-Ashbury area district of San Francisco. They had this a lot of thrift stores. They had something that like a Salvation Army that was just a vintage Salvation Army. Had clothes from the 20s to, you know, like the 50s, and that was only thing their niche was. Had great prices. You know, even they even had luggage, you know, from that era, and I think the luggage was like a 3-piece was for $50, but you know, it was great condition and almost antique.
I ran across something yesterday. I wish I had some extra money and a place to store it. It was an old TV console setup, but I've seen a lot of TV console setups, but I've never seen one like this. The damn thing it was like an 8-track type, you know, setup with a nice receiver, and had a nice television setup in it. But this thing had matching speakers that were separate from the console, that were 2 foot by 2 foot, all made out of hardwood, beautiful, like 1960s or something. And it was early 70s, and I know I could have bought it. I just don't have a place to put it. It's that big. It's a big, and I'm pretty sure somebody. It was beautiful. I mean, when I say beautiful, I mean this thing looked like it was 5 years old instead of 35 years. I mean, it was beautiful. All made out of nice, beautiful hardwood, and all the fronts were all nice, like some people have that stuff and kids poke holes in it and this and that. This thing was beautiful. I mean, perfect. And the guy's an eBayer too, but he deals in big items, you know, like cars and stuff like that. And he didn't even I dare to ask, because when I saw it, I'm like, wow, that's pretty nice. I'm like I know I could probably buy it, but I don't have a place to put it, so I didn't dare even ask him. You know, I didn't want to go there with it. And,
yeah. Usually those things with the speakers, they'll get separated over the years. We used to have one similar to that. You know, I had the speakers, the ends open up for the 8-track, and over here was the turntable.
Right. Yeah, and it was made out of beautiful wood. I mean, it was. I mean, I had never seen one like it before in my life. I've seen the consoles with the TV, with the stereo systems, but I've never seen one. I mean, a lot of those consoles have built-in speakers, but this one had individual speakers. They were 2 foot by 2 foot, and they had like heavy post legs that they sat on, I was like, wow. So I'd love to have that, but my kids would ruin it.
Roxy was having a trying to view the audience when he's having an issue. I'm sending it to.
Well, I tried to get her to come into the thing, but she said she weren't dressed and she weren't coming in. So I wouldn't look.
Well, yeah, she was having some issues with her computer, so she's going to shut it down and see what's going to happen. Yeah, this week has been a interesting week. It's been ups and downs with different pickings. I went to an estate sale, got some good things, okay prices. Some of them were overpriced. They had this one vase, probably about $75. They wanted 50 for it. They still had the sticker on the bottom for 125. It's only like maybe a 10-inch vase tapered up to the top, but it weighed about 6 pounds. It was 1.5 inches glass thick.
Wow.
Gorgeous thing. She wants me to stop by tomorrow. All the things that didn't sell, and just go over it. So hopefully I'll get some nice things tomorrow. Like I need any more things. I still have a whole table outside of stuff to take pictures of, to put in with my other pictures, to other stuff to list. So
I know your pain. I got right here. It goes right around to the other room, against the other wall, against that wall, against this wall, that wall on the other side. Because this is a house, and where I'm sitting is actually the kitchen, and I took the counter space and everything, and I said, this is my office, because I have 2 houses. I got the old house I got the house that I'm living in, and I bought another house that was right beside me because the old man had passed away, and his son called me up from Washington State and said, you want to buy it, Gary? You can have it for whatever the tax bill was on it. Was billed out.
that's nice.
Buddy. So I bought it. So I bought it and I tried to rent it. Well, after 2 years, year and a half of screwing around renting it, I realized that this wasn't going to work. Because the first guy was a nice guy, but he was going through a divorce, and he was taking home like $425 a week. And then his old lady went to court and bagged him because he had 3 kids, and she bagged him for like $175 or $200 a week for child support, and he was getting like $160 or whatever it was he was getting, and he smoked and he drank and he had to eat, he had to pay his own lights and all this and all that, and he weren't paying his rent, and I was like, buddy, I'm sorry, but you gotta go. It's like, I hate to do it to you. I mean, I got a tent out back if you want that, but I said I can't let you stay here for nothing. So he left, and then this welfare queen, who was and 8 and all this and that, she come in, and her boyfriend was working, and she's getting a check for like $1,300 a month with her and her kids, and food stamps and all that. And I said, well, kind of eating on a little bit about it, and so I let her in. Boo boo. She hosed me for about $6,000, 6 or 7. It took me $6,000 or $7,000 to get. By the time she got her out, I got her out of here and fixed the damage in the house and stuff. And, it was like she stopped paying her rent in December. It took me until July to get her out. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I had to go to court 3 or 4 times. I mean, it was crazy. You had the sheriff down here, and that was it. I was done. No more renters.
There's a lot of times where it's easier to say, if they're behind on their rent, say, hey, you know what? I'll give you $1,000. Just go away. Just go find yourself some other place. Here's $1,000. It's cheaper that way sometimes.
Yeah, but she didn't. She was being. I don't think she would have took it. I think she was just one of those women that just wanted to be a bitch, and she, I just think she was. She was gonna ride it right out until the state told her to leave. And finally, it took the sheriff department to come down here and finally threw her out. But they did a bunch of damage on the way, and it was like, wasn't a good scene. And so that was it. Other than occasionally I got a couple guys that come by and they need a place to lay down on a couch or something, and I got a couch in the other room there and something. If they want to hang out for a few days or something like that, I don't mind. But when they start thinking they're going to live here, that ain't working.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah.
Well, I went and bought a couple campers just in case this comes down to that again. I got a buddy that needs a place to stay, and $125 a week right there in that camper.
There you go.
Power to it. $125 a week, and that's your little thing. You don't pay your rent, I unplug your power.
Now you're up in New Hampshire. That's never been up that far up north. Been up to like Pennsylvania area, DC.
It's a lot. It's a lot lumpier up here. I mean, it's one of them areas where I've been through Pennsylvania, and I've been through New York. I mean, upstate New York's kind of like certain parts of upstate New York are kind of like Vermont and New Hampshire, especially if you're getting towards the Adirondacks. But when you get over the hump there and you come past Champlain Lakes, and it's kind of a lumpy, bumpy world. I mean, it's corners, hills, everywhere you go. I mean, you don't go 2 miles and you're going around a corner and up over a hill and into a valley and all this and that. So you're losing cell service everywhere you go. I mean, you can't go around a corner and you lose your cell service.
Dude, that's almost like where I live. It's we only have AT&T. That is the only service that will work up in this area, and there are certain spots that won't even work. I live like right at the base of the Sierra Nevadas, right outside of like Sequoia National Park. So in the foreground is Mount Whitney. Is right at the base. We're at the base of Mount Whitney. So we're same way. Every corner there's the hill, and you have to go over a hill and down a hill, around a place. So.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just hilly, but there's nice little rivers and streams, the small ones, they're not big ones. I mean, I think like the biggest stream in our area might be 30 feet across, and the river, except for Connecticut River, there's spots in Connecticut River where it's probably 100 feet across, but none of these, but nothing like the Mississippi.
Mississippi. Ours that we have here, it's usually a good river. Right now, it's just I guess it's still a river, but we've had a drought for the last 3 or 4 years here in California. Usually, that's a level 4 river for rafting, white water rafting. Some parts of it are level 5, and the rafting crews have not had a season this year nor last. So hopefully this next year we'll have some rain. But it's a class 5 river for river rafting, and it's a gorgeous area. And I like it when the tourists do come in because I don't know why, but they bring their stuff to donate to our little thrift store, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, not every town around here has a thrift store. Couple of the bigger towns, they've got like 4,500 local in-town type people, them usually have the thrift stores. I think, well, I'm only estimating, I can go probably no further than 20 miles out in a round circle and from where I live, and could probably hit, I think, somewhere around 20 different little thrift shops. So if I took off from here and headed out and did a little circle, because within 20 miles there's probably a dozen or more little towns, within reach of each other, within a few miles. So some towns have them, some towns don't. I mean, most towns do. Even if they're just a little tiny hole in the wall, they got a little thrift store. The ones I like to hit are the listen centers and the Sebka because it's so cheap. I mean, you just go in there because it's just in there to move the stuff, you know. And
Yeah,
we
ours is
also
ran by
have,
the women's club, and it's just a little mom and pop thing. But it's they don't price things like Goodwill has been pricing things up in their prices, looking at eBay. They do know when they have certain things that are with value. They don't put that out on the
yeah,
floor. They had an appraiser that was giving them prices, telling them what they should do with it, and I guess he was not the best person to do it. Um, they've asked me to look at their items and the items they don't put out on the floor and do a consignment type thing to where I will sell it for them. I'm looking into that. Then I don't want it to get into my business of getting things that they have. So,
I've only been doing this now. I played around with eBay and I've been into internet marketing and I've had as many as 75 different sites up at one time and tried to orchestrate all that, you know. And I've done all that, and there was no money in it. And it was just a hoax, you know, a bunch of crap. And you work your balls up and you don't get nothing out of it. So I started after my heart attack, and they took my physical card away, and I got diabetes and neuropathy and old age and all kinds of other shit. You know, just I'm breaking down is what it is. I used to be the big rugged the little rugged dude that used to do the brick and mortar, and I did the shoveling, and I did the hay, and I done all that stuff. You know, worked my ass off all my life. I mean,
well, that all
and then I
catches
went
up
and
to you.
drove. Right, and I drove truck for 12 years at the end of this. Okay, and I never drove truck before. It was like 13 years ago. I started driving truck for this little outfit, and then I ended up getting my CBL, and then I went over the road, and went as far as actually I've only gone as far as Wisconsin, but in Tennessee. But I started doing that and hauling logs and hauling, junk cars and all that stuff, flatbed and tractor trailer, you know. Well, I went from 165 pounds to 210. Right, and I was 165 pounds scrappy, solid as a rock. And I went to 210, and then I had a blood clot, and then because I fell, what happened was I fell off the back of an 18 wheeler. I was up there where they had a big open top with a screen on it, for doing rubbish or whatever, and I was up doing rubbish, and I was pulling the screen all back, and I got that all done. It was wet dew in the morning, and up here we get a lot of heavy dew from the fluctuation of temperatures from night to day. And so my front of my tractor trailer was all slimy dew, and I had my boots on. I went to spin around to get down off that, and I went to step and slipped right off and fell 13 feet right to the ground. Bang! Landed on my side.
Ouch.
And oh yeah, it hurt like hell. And I got up and shook it off, and I'm like getting into the truck, and I got to shift 18 gears, and I'm like barely can move. I got myself in there, and I got my truck out of there, and went, shut my door and all that stuff, and headed home. Well, I worked the whole day. Hurt. Oh, God, was I in pain. I was eating ibuprofens like they were going out of style. And I got home that night, and I took my shirt off. My wife saw me, and I had a black and blue. I'm not kidding you. It went from the underneath my armpit all the way down the back side of me and all the way halfway up the front, just like that. But, I mean, major black and blue. He says, you're going to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. Then 1 month right after that, 3 months right after that, I got diagnosed for high sugar. 1 month after that, on New Year's night, or Christmas night, the night before Christmas, I was working, still driving truck, and I almost passed out. It was early morning. I was trying to crank up the landing gear, and I was getting busy as a bastard. I'd already hooked up my tractor and everything. I was lifting up the landing gear. It was an empty trailer. We were going down the road about 30 miles to pick up a load of logs. Well, I get down there, and I'm not feeling good at all. I'm not feeling bad, feeling really bad. So I told one of the guys on the CB, I said, dude, I said, I am like dizzy, and I'm like going to throw up or something. I don't know. I said, I just don't feel good. So we went out, and usually there's usually one of us that has a picker, and the other guys have trailers, so they can load trailers right up. So he throws a bunch of logs on there, heats it right up because it's on Saturday. It's like a Saturday morning type of thing, and he's like, no DOTL, let's load these sons of bitches though. We can't put any more on them. He said, let's get out of here, for the buck, I go to throw my straps over, I can throw a strap, you just swing it a couple times, and it goes right over. Well, I swung that goddamn strap, and it went about halfway right into the side of the thing, and I tried it again. I looked at the other guy. I said, I can't even throw the strap over the top of this truck. And he goes, really? I said, no, I can't do it. So he says, well, he throws the straps on, and away we went. Well, took the whole weekend. We did the whole day, and I went home, and Tuesday came, and everything started opening back up. And I told my wife, I said, I want to go down to the hospital. She goes, why is that? I said, I said, my calf is bothering me, It was swelled right up, and I didn't feel good. And we went in the doctor's office, and they did some tests on me, draw some blood, and they said, dude, well, they took me in and put me through the machine there and checked me out, and they said, I hope you ain't going anywhere. I said, why is that? I says, you just had like several blood clots just hit your lung. They said, you're lucky you're even alive. Wow, man. So 14 days in the hospital, IVs, getting the whole shebang. Yeah, not a good trip.
Yeah.
So that's all kind of where I started. And then I had a heart attack after about a little while after that. About a year later, I had a heart attack. And then this is where I am. I started eBay about a year and a half ago. And I started out slow, working with things, and I'm just a madman picker, I guess.
Myself, I used to pick a lot before, like 10, 15 years ago, just for myself, just for collecting. Mostly I collected antique silver. And I got to be too much of a collection, and so I started selling some things. Then got out of it. I started on eBay back in 2003. Got out of it in, I think, October last year. I opened up my account again. Still had it as a seller status, so that was fine. But I started doing costume jewelry. Built up the one account to where it's at, and then opened up a second account. And then I started going into the thrift store and to yard sales, and finding things so cheap that I could flip it and get a 10%, a 10 times return on investment on pretty much anything I picked up over there. It was just simple numbers, and I was working full time as a butcher. Built up the eBay, built it up as gradually, I wanted to see if it would start paying my insurance bill for my car. Started doing that, and then it started paying for my car payment, and then it paid for the car payment and the insurance, and then next month it was paying for the rent as well. So at that point I went down to part-time. The numbers were there. I wanted to make sure it was steady. So went down to part-time, and about a month and a half after that, so yeah, the numbers there. I'm done. I quit. So that's been about 9-10 months now.
Nice.
I quit my job about last week, but I've been doing picking and eBaying about 9 months now, 10 months. Nice.
Well, where I'm at right now is I took my first year just kind of learning about it, and I'm still learning. You always learn. I mean, there ain't no doubt about it. As long as you're in this business, you will always learn. So started out few items. I actually started out with albums. I had a big surplus of old albums, and I just started taking pictures and going through them and checking them and putting them online. Well, I was within a month, I had sold like 60 albums. And I was like, whoa, this is a pretty good little gig going on here, I mean, some of them I sold cheap, $4 or $5. And then there was other ones that I sold for $20, $30, $40. The biggest album I ever sold was for $86. But, that was a lot for me. I mean, I got it for nothing. So, I mean, why not do it, And so started making a few bucks, and um, then I took off for a little while. I kind of didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of dealing with Social Security because I can't really work a full-time job. Because what happens to me is because with my heart attack and the bullshit that I've gone through, because I'm so worn out, I can, if it comes down to doing like a brick and mortar type job where I've got to like, shovel shit or something like that, I'm only good for like an hour or two, and then I got to go sit on the stump, hop and pop and take a nap, It's like, because my heart just doesn't like it, I get really overtired. So with this, it's not, I still get tired, but I'm not saying I don't, but you can't do those physical things like I used to do, I just get too tired. And so I'm dealing with Social Security, trying to get some help with that, because I got 3 little girls, so I gotta make something, I gotta do something, can't wait for Social Security to pay me, I lose every friggin' thing I got, and,
Yeah.
So,
well,
that's where I am. Right now, we're
any questions? I don't see any questions. We have about 7 viewers. If you have any questions or coffee tips, let us know.
This is coffee shoot the shit morning. But
mostly, I've been getting into not by choice. It just happened that way. Majority of my things that I pick are clothing. It's only like a 30%, but it's the highest percentage of the items I get. I'm pretty diversified on what things I get. Anywhere from ceramics, glass, vacuum cleaner bags, records. In fact, I just sold the Fleetwood Mac album.
Nice.
Shipped that out today. That's the other one. And
a lot of my albums in Europe. A lot of the albums that I had ended up going to Europe.
Wow.
They were hot. Yeah. It was either Germany or Italy or France or someplace. The farthest one I sent was New Zealand. Yeah, that was kind of cool. So that was a Michael Jackson. Actually, not Michael Jackson. It was one of the first Jackson 5s. Yeah, and I snapped that right up. It was like I put on a price on it for like $28, and boom, it's gone.
Yeah, that's what I had. I picked up the Star Wars theme album from the 1977 movie, and I think I listed a starting auction at $9.99, and buy it $9, and someone immediately just buy it now. Give it to me for $29. Ship it. Okay, maybe I priced that a little bit too low, but I got it for 20 cents.
Yeah, I made my share of boo-boos too. Somebody told me, "Oh, if it's worth anything, you just put it right in the auction for 99 cents. If it's worth 1,000, you'll get 1,000." Right? Okay. Yeah. I tried that little stunt. That lasted about a week.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. Yeah, there are a lot of people. What they do is they go on at nighttime and look for those misspelled words in a title, or something's just not right. It's not in the right category where it's not getting the views, and it's not even getting any bids at 99 cents, and it's ending at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
A lot of people will just
knife right in there and get it.
Troll those and jump on all of them. Yeah. And that's how they make their business. Instead of going to thrift stores or what have you, they just go do those 99-cent auctions.
They wait for that new guy who doesn't really know what he's doing, and then they take advantage of him. But that's part of the game.
Yeah. Well, I do 99-cent auctions every now and then, and it does generate traffic.
Right.
And I don't mind, because I'll have a piece of junk that I have that it was in a lot that I got for 50 cents, and I'll sell it for 99 cents, and I'll charge $2.99 shipping, which it makes me $1 on the shipping, so I break even. But it does generate traffic onto your site, and you just have to pick something that is flashy enough to sell and to get some interest, but you don't care if it sells for 99 cents.
Something that that isn't really worth a lot of money, but it might be somebody's interesting to it, Like I just picked up, I got a wicked deal, and kind of ashamed of myself a little bit, but went to a yard sale, and the woman had a box, a pretty good sized little box, and it had 200 comic books in it. They were new, they were like 2012, 2013, maybe the oldest 2011 or something. They were all Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Daredevil, Wolverine, and she wanted 50 cents each on them. And I said, "Oh, geez, I don't know about that." I said, "I'm not going to buy 50. I'll buy them all right now today for $20." And she awed, and so, I don't know. I said, "Well, the best I'm going to do with you is 30. I mean, at $30, I'll just walk away, And she finally said, "Sure." She says, "I'm going to get in a lot of trouble because they ain't mine. They belong to my grandson." I said, "But he ain't here, right?" And she goes, "Nope." And his mother said, "Get rid of him, right?" And she goes, "Yep." And I said, "Okay." So I went back, tallied it all out. I paid 6 cents a piece for brand new comic books.
Wow.
So I could probably afford to do 99-cent auctions on those, because even at 99 cents, it's $2 and something shipping in first class.
Or you could even do media mail.
Yep, even cheaper, probably. And so, I can't lose. Even if I sell them for $1 a piece, I made $200, or I made $180, $70. But damn well a few of those are going to be there's going to be a little pricing war on them. You're going to see a couple kids, a couple young guys that are just need those, and they're going to be a war. So I might end up selling a few of them for $5, $6, $8, $10. You never know, especially if
a couple months down the road when you exhausted the good ones, you just lump the other ones together as a lot.
Right. Yeah. So I can afford to throw them into a 99-cent auction. That's just going to be kind of a niche thing for that type of crowd, but still just the same. I mean, I'm going to make my money back on it. So.
And the one at that estate sale I went to, one of the things I got was a box of Nintendo DS games. They have 14 of them in there, and I asked her how much was she selling them for, and she said, anywhere from $2 to $5 each. And Alexis, well, how about I just give you $20 for all of them? So he just jumped on it. Okay. So got them for a little bit over $1 a piece. Some are some good titles that'll go for $20. Other ones will go for $5, $10. But money. I kind of felt a little bit bad. But when I go back over there on Wednesday to look at the rest of the items, I'll probably give her a little extra.
Yeah. I've got somewhere stashed out in there. My wife she liked the old Nintendo 64s there when she grew up. And probably don't want to answer this today. She had a collection, and I don't know what. I went somewhere. It might have been to the transfer station or something, and I pulled out a box, and I'm not kidding. They're the old style push-in Nintendo 64s, the little square ones there, and I pulled out a box at the transfer station, and there must have been 30 of them in there. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I loaded them up, put them in the truck. Now my wife won't miss out.
That's the problem. Yeah. I have that problem with myself sometimes when I want to. I find some nice shirts, some nice Hawaiian shirts. like the Hilo Hati originals, and I just have a hard time selling them, so I just put them in my collection. So I know that feeling.
Well, before we turned this house into eBay, this was kind of like my man cave, you know. So I had it set up on the living room side of this. Couches and a big table and like a great big old, well, now they're antique, but the great big monster screen TVs are, you know, fit in the back of a pickup truck type of thing, you know. And then like a 56 or 60-inch screen on it. It's old, you know. It's got it has the light thing in the back and everything. It's not like today's ones, but that's in there. So we use that and we put the Nintendo games up to girls used to come over and raise hell with that and play that, and we play the Wii on it and Xbox and all that.
And Matt had posted in here, said a while back some outfit was selling Secrets to eBay book. Basically, after reading between the lines of the advertisement, it was 99-cent auctions, the way to make big bucks on eBay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I guess somebody wrote a book about how to do that.
It depends on what you're selling. Now, you throw an item on there that's worth, you know, $80, $100, and you throw it into a 99-cent auction, you can get screwed. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've sold stuff that started at 99 cents and made out, and then I've sold stuff on there for 99 cents and just took a beating on it. You know, it's like, so you're better off do a little research, find a comfortable price that you're comfortable with, and then start your auction there. You know, especially if you don't got any money into it. If you picked it up for free, say it's a $40 item, so put it in the auction for $9.99. You're already going to make $10 plus your shipping if you want to add your shipping in. That's a good place to start. $9.99. You know, people will bite on that if it's worth $40, $50. You know, I don't recommend it for 99 cents unless you've got something that's you picked up for absolutely free, and you know you're not going to get any more than $10 out of it. You know, because like the comic book thing, you know, I got 6 cents on each comic book. I mean, I can't lose. You know, no matter what I do, I can't lose. You know, so those are the things you got to think about. Especially for a new seller, it can be pretty discouraging when you. I mean, I screwed up one day, and I invested in some plastic models, and they were all brand new in the box. And I probably had about probably $7 to $8 in each one of them, and they're brand new. And I got like 60 of them. So I went and I had them all on, buy it now. And then I said, well, I'll try those in a little auction. And I didn't think. And when I hit the auction to transfer them over into an auction, it automatically threw it into 99 cents, and I didn't catch it. But, I wasn't paying attention, and they threw them all into 99 cents. Well, I'm thinking, well, that ain't too bad. I was going to down the price, but I was going to start like at $9, and go from there. And I weren't thinking. Then I went on there the next day, and every one of them had a green money thing on it, and I was like, what the 99 cents? Oh, yeah, I said. Boy, and I sweated that one out. I was like, waited all week. I didn't make out too bad. I mean, a couple of them I got hosed on, but the majority of them went above my, above $15 or so, $15 to $18. So I was like, oh, wow, well, I lucky on that one. So I didn't lose, but I sweating it out for about a week, I was like, because once they bid on it, you can't pull out, and if not, you'll get bad. If you try to pull out on eBay, so.
Yeah, I found that out. There was one item I listed and it sold, and I went to look for it, and I could not find it. And my first item I ever lost. But I found it. This is the ironic thing. I found it, packaged it up, taken it to the post office, and lost it again somehow. I lost it between here and the post office. So I had to I contacted the buyer. They're nice about it. I gave them a full refund. They'd asked me if I had any other of this type of item. I said, not that specific one. Here's the other ones I have. So no, that won't work for me. But thanks anyways. And they were gracious enough to work with me and cancel the transaction with me. So I didn't. I get the final value feedback, but I still got the ding on my account. It's a live and learn. It's I really dislike the eBay's policy or thinking that, oh well, it's just that's why we have these 5 that you can get, these 5 defects, that way it won't hurt you as much. Well, when you have all these little things that keep adding up, like sometimes the post office will lose a package and you get the ding for it, or yeah, they'll give you your money back from the post office, but you still get that ding, and that ding is worth a lot more than just that refund. So, yeah.
Right. I don't know. I thought they changed a little bit of that around, because I've had some incidents where the product got there, it was busted, or the customer wasn't satisfied with it, and without even a question asked, I didn't even say anything. I mean, I told him, I said, "Do you like your refund?" And yeah, and I don't even question it. I don't even, unless they. The only thing I do ask them is, "Would you please send me a picture of your broken item?" And,
yeah, refunds are that's fine.
Right.
That's one thing. You don't get dings for those, but
nope, that's the way to do it. Don't mess around. If a person has a problem, ask them if they'd like a refund, and just refund their money and get rid of them. Because if you don't, if you fight, that's where you're going to get problems, and you're going to get your dings. And if you get too many of those, we all know what happens. You could possibly lose your account. So don't even fight with them. I don't care, what it is. If it's a $50 item or $80 money, they've already paid you. All you got to do is transfer the money back. You're only going to lose maybe a few bucks on shipping or something like that. It's not worth it. I'd rather spend $20 to get
that good feedback. Yeah. There's right. One item I had sent to. It was a Fire King mug purchased from a guy in Canada, and I shipped it out to him, and he received it, and it had a hairline fracture in the glass. He took a picture of it, held it up to light, and you can see it. I said, okay, yep, sorry about that. Here's your full refund. And he said, thank you, I appreciate it. It was just wished it didn't come like that, and left me a neutral. And I said, oh, come on. Oh, well. But I called up eBay and said, well, no, he's allowed to do that. So, okay.
I think they changed that up. I think if you refund their money, I don't know if they can. If you cut the transaction because of something happened in shipping, or the customer weren't satisfied, and you pay them off, they get their money back. Deal done. I can't see where they can ding you for that.
He gave me a neutral, and it was still there. I asked to have it removed, and they wouldn't. I said, well, he's already put in right. Yeah, I agree. I did have one removed. It was a item I sent to the Russian Federation, and had a glowing comment, said, received perfect, glad I got, or something like that. But it was a neutral. And so I showed the translation, because it was in acrylic language in the comments. And I did a translation, and I sent it off to eBay, and I said, this person, he's happy in regards to the comments, but it shows as a neutral. Can you have this removed? And they did remove it. So I was happy with that. And yesterday, I finally, I don't know if you saw it, I think you may have seen it, I got my top-rated seller status.
Cool.
On one account. So I'm happy about that, although it's starting to show with the sales. They're giving me some traffic. Let's see.
Well, I'm not quite there yet. I'm still spinning my wheels, so I got my 3 little retirement plans running around here, so.
Oh, it's too bad that I don't know where Chris ran off to.
They probably peeked in on us, thought we were a couple of retards, and moved on.
Maybe. Maybe. Uh, yeah, myself, I am gonna have to get going. I'm gonna have to do some shipping today. I have a thrift store to go down to. I have a Bakelite necklace that I picked up. I need to take to a person who wants to purchase it off of. They don't want me to list it at all. They want me to just sell it to them. They're gonna actually do a trade or a necklace for a bunch of turquoise pieces. So,
Nice. You guys must get a little bit of that out there with those
yeah.
Indian reservations, stuff like that. So we don't have. We got some Indian reservations here, but they're kind of different, I guess.
Ours are
They
sort of
they sell cigarettes.
ours too, but we still have some of the older ones. My favorite ring that I wear all the time is it's a signed original.
Nice.
Effie Calabaska, a Zuni Indian woman. And this is her, my keychain also has it as well. But that's the maker on it. FEC, a Zuni Indian woman. She does these snake designs with two turquoise eyes.
I see that.
Now her daughters do that as well, but they must use coral in one eye and turquoise in the other to differentiate.
Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of turquoise in this area. Native Americans still have some of the tribes here.
We've got a lot of the big stone around here is granite. We got white granite in Vermont, and well, New Hampshire's called the Granite State, but there's actually just as much, if not more, granite right here in Vermont. They got a big granite quarry up there. They pull out blocks half the size of this house, and just pure granite. And it's beautiful stuff too. It's white granite. You can polish it and stuff. It's just like a stone, So yeah. And there is some mineral stuff around here.
Yeah.
And a lot of wood, trees.
Oh, we have our trees here. Those little trees called the sequoia trees. It's one of the. It's the
little
last. Yeah, they're bigger than mansions. It's the last forest in the world of the sequoia trees. Is this area here?
Yeah. They better protect it.
And it's also one of the worst air qualities of the nation right here.
Ain't that crazy?
Wow. It is affecting the trees. They've done studies, and the line of where the trees are growing, it used to be they used to grow down at the 3,000 feet level, and they're not now. It's more up to like the 5,000 or 6,000 feet where they have to live. They won't live. They can't survive below that.
Crazy. We're losing a lot of the butternut trees and stuff in our area. We don't. They're dying off. It's too bad. Global warming or whatever is supposed to be causing it, but in the last 20 years, you used to be able to go out my father had like a 20-acre property, and we used to go out there, and he had several butternut trees, and you could go right out there, and they're like the size of a walnut, and break them babies open, and you could eat them right out of a walnut almost, and tons of those. Now all the trees are all dying off, and I think there's only a few trees on that property that my father owned. There's only a few trees that are still alive. They're this big around, but they're just dying off.
Well, Gary, thank you for having me for coffee this morning. Appreciate it.
Right. We might try to do this here another day or so.
Yeah.
Now that I kind of got an idea how this works, so we can get this up and running. So
we'll set it up. Makes perfect.
Right. Yeah. We'll try to do up some topics, get a few more guys that get up in the morning. Curly bird catches a worm type of thing.
That's it. All
I
right,
got to get
well,
to
you
work.
have a great day. Everybody else have a great selling day. Make sure you do listings. Listings do equal sales. Can't say that enough.
Listing, listing, listing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day.
Yep. See you guys later.